Stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for watching Hub TV. First order of business is a public hearing. Our debate.
Is Kim on via remote? She is. Zoom. So we'll call this hearing to order at 7:01 p.m. this 22nd day of May 2023 at Herman City Hall. It is conducted to consider a conditional use permit application submitted by Missouri Trading Post Crystal Bank Holder for outdoor liquor consumption in the C1 Commercial District at 413 Market Street. The city's Planning and Zoning Commission passed a motion to recommend that the Board of Aldermen approve the conditional use permit. At least 15 days notice of the time and place of this hearing was published in the Herman Advertiser and Courier. After this hearing is concluded, the board shall provide its decision. If the board finds that the special requirements for a conditional use permit are satisfied, it shall make an order directing the zoning inspector to issue the permit. According to our municipal code, the board may impose conditions to ensure the use will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and morals. It will not injure the use and enjoyment of the property in the immediate vicinity, to ensure there are access utilities, roads, drainage, and other facilities, that the use will not impede the normal and orderly development of neighboring properties, the use will not cause traffic congestion, nor will it result in a substantial increase in fire hazards. The board may grant the conditional use permit for such a period of time as it finds to be in the public interest. The hearing is being conducted on the record and a transcript is being prepared. The applicants will have the opportunity to present their case. If they have documents they would like to present as exhibits, they may do so. If they have an attorney whom they would like to speak on their behalf, this is also allowed. The board may ask for testimony from others present in the room as to whether they are in favor or against this application and their reasons. The board will then vote on the issue. Whether it is approved or denied will be carried by a vote of a majority of the board members present this evening. And so the following exhibits have been presented by or offered by city staff. Exhibit 1 is the conditional use permit application. Exhibit 2 is the checklist that planning and zoning uses to determine if the application meets the factors that are listed in our ordinance. Exhibit 3 is a list of the people within 185 feet of 413 Market Street who got actual notice of the hearing. Exhibit 4 is the meeting minutes of the P&Z Commission. They confirm that motion was made, seconded, and unanimously approved to approve the application with a 10 o'clock p.m. closing time and an occupancy plan submitted to the Board of Aldermen. And then Exhibit 5 is the affidavit of publication from the newspaper. Exhibit 6 is a copy of the actual ad that appeared in the newspaper. And Exhibit 7 is a hand-drawn depiction of something, like a driveway
And we have
property lines and dumpsters and kind of a schematic of the area.
And we have an update to that too.
Mayor, do you agree to accept these exhibits into the record?
Yes, sir.
Is our applicant here?
Yes.
Would you like to just describe generally what you're applying for?
So my hope, thank you guys for listening to this. So my hope is that Missouri's Trading Post, I had a package liquor license, now it's for drink, and it's to help collaborate with Willie's Phillies, which is a part of the new addition that I've added to the building. So it's like a shopping, eating, drinking experience rather than just to be separated but together in the property. So Will and Becca Burke are doing the food, and then the customers can come in and have a glass of wine or get a bottle of beer to go with their dinner or to shop and drink and just enjoy their experience. So that's my hopes.
Anybody have any questions? Y'all good with it?
The occupancy's been figured and,
Yeah, he came by today. I met with Mike, and he said that he had turned something in. I don't know, did he get that turned? Okay.
He
Cool.
came back and said that there was 110 total occupancy, and he had it based on the breakdown of the zones, like the patio, the side area. But it all totaled up to 110, and it didn't include the upper patio at this time.
Because that's getting a structural engineer stamp on it before that is rated for occupancy, so.
Okay. In that case, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks for
Good
coming.
evening.
Mayor's report. Short and sweet. Memorial Weekend is coming up, so remember that the memorial service will be at the cemetery at 9 a.m. put on by the VFW. If you can, attend that. Also, Wednesday I will be reading a proclamation to celebrate Dan McKinney's retirement from the hospital after 36 years. We'd like to congratulate Dan on 36 years. And that's all I really have. We'll go with the city administrator.
I will be rather brief as well, because our budget workshop was last Monday. We covered a lot of ground and you all are up to date on a lot of those details. I will just mention that the legislative session has closed, and some of those bills that I had been mentioning to you that were of big concern to municipalities that would have affected either reducing personal property taxes or different versions of sales taxes, they didn't make it through. They got close. I think there's only one that passed and had something to do with some sort of revision for senior citizens where they might get some sort of tax relief. But all those other major bills that would have really impacted cities did not pass. And so a lot of the municipal organizations, the city administrators, the city clerks, different groups like that are really ramping up their lobbying for next year, to try to get ahead of that so that these don't come back again and make it through. So anyway, that was at least good news for now. I'll just mention, Corey's been working with the pool staff and they started their training today. Opening day is Saturday and closing day is August 12th, and I just want to encourage everybody to support our local pool. It's an expensive endeavor, it's an expensive amenity. We of course never make money on it, but we really do urge people to support it and enjoy it. And I'll save Jesse, since he's here, he's going to address a lot of the public works issues. You know how we've been talking about the street project on West 7th Street, and he has an update on that.
Very good. Thank you. Jesse, Public Works.
So I will not be brief. So the electric department has cut some trees down on 5th and Gutenberg Streets. You guys might have noticed there were some dead ash trees down there that we removed for the street department. While we were doing that and ground those stumps, we ground several stumps around town as well. The upgrades in West 6th Street alley between Washington and Wine Street are complete. We recently received a shipment of streetlights that we had ordered in March. So all last week we've been installing streetlights that we had backed up tickets on. We appreciate the public's patience with us on that. The easement work has been done on the 16 and 1700 blocks of Washington Street. We're kind of blowing that easement out, making it a little bit safer for the power line up through there. The water department has completed their water main project on East 4th on the 200 block. The only service that remains right now is the fire suppression for the Historic Society there, and that should be completed tomorrow. So that project will be off the books for the street guys to move over there when they're done on 7th. They've been installing some new ERTs as well and doing meter replacements. On the sewer side, the lagoon outflow, the testing has still been great. So that's hats off to those guys after years of not so good results. The last 2 years, they've been near perfect. We'll be beginning the Sand Plant Road sewer extension sometime next month. as the 4th Street project is kind of wrapped up and they get caught up on their odds and ends. On the street side, the street crews have been mowing regularly, of course. They've assisted in cleaning up the dead trees that the electric department removed, and they've been doing a lot of street trimming of street trees. They've been patching potholes, of course. They've also been loading a lot of mulch at the compost site. That mountain of mulch is almost gone somehow. Doesn't seem possible, but it is. So that's good because we're getting ready to make a new mountain. So they've been spreading the spoils at the Industrial Park Road site that goes up onto that ridge. All the spoils from 7th Street, which there's been a lot of course. The 7th Street project started mid last week. As I let you guys know, when the contractors started digging, they were really concerned about the soil stability. And as you guys saw in that video I sent you guys, to say that soil is spongy is a gross understatement. So it was pretty wet, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when we missed that rain Friday, that really saved us. We have planned on, if we cannot stabilize that soil, we will have to dig down another foot to base that according to the geotech engineer that looked at it. That's going to be a sizable expense. I think it was somewhere just south of $125,000 to take that whole street for 2 blocks down another foot. That being said, we want to make a quality product that's going to last. So if that's what we end up having to do, that's going to be what we do. With that dry weather this weekend though, and the wind and sun got on it, it stiffened up a bunch. So this week today we were able to go just a foot, and it packed in pretty tight. We're going to hope that lasts. We're going to have a geotech engineer come up and check it out tomorrow and evaluate it. But that'll save us a pretty good chunk of money. There's still some spots that were spongy, but we can dig out that base in sections and just do that in sections instead of the whole street.
So before you leave that, Jesse, what he's talking about is this document that's on your desk is the change order that was going to be for that full amount of $125,000. Our engineer suggested we go ahead and approve this as is, although he suspects that we're only going to need to do this on time and material, since he's really hopeful that we won't have a whole 2 blocks to do, which is what this was for.
When we got the extra bid, that was to do all the way from Jefferson down to Washington. We're definitely not going to have to do that much the way it looks. So it'll be somewhere in between 0 and that. Hopefully closer to 0. But that's kind of where we're at on it. Like I say, it really stiffened up a bunch this weekend just from that sun beating on it, and hopefully it stays that way. The gas department, they rebuilt a farm tap up near Middletown, and they've been still painting meter sets around town, so you guys probably see them out there doing that. That's something that we've needed done for a long time. Now that we're full staffed, it's good to see that that's happening. We're still waiting on bid specs for the Luder Island Cemetery project. Once we get those, we plan on letting that out for bids sooner than later. The Parks Department has been mowing and weed eating, as you can imagine, and then doing final preparations on the pool and keeping up with campground maintenance. Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Public comments? Did you have one? Brian? Yes, no, that's right, you can keep it. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to see if there's any updates on the Port Authority application, or if anyone has any additional information, or...
We do, and I think we'll be getting into it under old business.
Oh! Okay, so I don't even need to ask. Or is that...
How do you want to handle that?
I can just answer the question now, and
Yeah, that's fine.
okay, it's all right with you, Mayor. So, yeah, everything is still a go. We got draft ordinance bylaws and other documents from Neil Marvell, the county's attorney, earlier this month. I just talked to him again today. Steve Etcher has been going around to the different cities or municipalities in Montgomery County this month and getting them to pass resolutions saying generally that they're in favor of the Port Authority, just to enhance the application. They're not to imply that they're in the same boat as we are. The
Right.
resolution or the ordinance that we need to eventually pass is the one that says we're joining with Montgomery County in making the application, and we're sort of co-applicants with them. And so that's what's happening now. We expect that to come up, if not the next meeting, probably the meeting after that. The attorney invited me to make whatever comments on behalf of Herman that I wanted to. For one that I can think of off the top of my head is putting something in there in the bylaws that says that our mayor and administrator or other city representatives can certainly go to the meetings, and they're not voting members necessarily, that they can participate in the meetings. The draft that he got out said there would be 8 members, or 8 board members to the Port Authority. We've always talked about 7. And 1 appointed by the city of Herman, 1 appointed by the city of Herman, period, not suggested by the city of Herman and then approved and appointed by the Montgomery County Commissioner. So anyway, and then there are a few other things, but it is still, it's still rolling.
All right, great. Just so I'm sure that, just to clarify the time frame wise, are we in a window where anything falls in our court here, or is it on them? Or I know they have that 30-day thing. Is that still the 30-day window, or is that not?
We're kind of leading it to Montgomery County and their municipal finance expert law firm to drive the bus here, and he said he has not talked to Steve Etcher since May 2nd. So
Okay.
it appears there is no.
I was gonna say, a 30-day window was 60 days ago.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and I don't know, back in January, it was they wanted to get the application in by April, and I don't know if these are just sort of soft deadlines to keep everybody moving, but
Okay.
I would think probably not by the next meeting, but second meeting in June, we would pass something official and move on from there.
But it's not our fault.
Correct, what he said.
I got you. No, so there's no real urgency to get anything done by a certain deadline at this point. We're kind of waiting on them to get back to us on some, to clarify some things. Okay. That's all I was wondering. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, no other public comments, we'll move to ordinances.
The ordinance on for tonight for second reading is an ordinance to amend the municipal code of the city of Herman, Missouri to add a new chapter 216 regarding personal use marijuana.
Any questions, this is second reading? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve bill number 2023-14, second read.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Okay, move on to old business, any old business?
The KV 69 lines, have we heard anything on that?
It's
Oh, yeah.
Easements, right?
Yeah,
The
correct.
easements?
No, we talked about Dave and Jesse getting together and maybe developing a strategy, but we haven't heard anything from the landowners.
Any other old business? Any new business?
I failed to mention a while ago that just kind of following suit like we did last year, we talked about holding a second abbreviated budget workshop a half an hour before our next meeting. So would that suit everybody on June 12th to have a short budget workshop at 6:30? Again, we made so few changes on that first draft that it's just kind of a formality.
Okay with everyone?
So 6:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Under new business, I was approached today, Brush and Pallet. You know, they're gonna redo cemetery work. And apparently there's been a lot of vandalism on some of the stones that they've already repaired. Said it looks like they've come and just hit it with a bat and broke them off.
I have not heard that. Have you heard that, Corey?
No.
That's news to me.
Well, this is the first I heard of it, and he approached, you know, is there anything we can do as a city? Well, I don't know exactly how that lays up there. I don't think, there's not many trees up in there, is there?
That's what I'm wondering, the only place, and obviously this is news to me too, but we did have a big hard maple tree break about 2 years ago up there. And I think it struck a couple of them that they had redone.
He said there's like 8 or 9 of them. I don't, have you had any police reports on that?
No, we haven't been contacted about anything.
Yeah, this is the first.
Okay,
I've heard.
well, it was just kind of out of the blue. It was John William who approached me and said, you know, is there anything we can do about it? And so I just, if you're not there to visit the deceased, stay out of the cemetery is all I can say. You know, if you get caught doing something like that, we will see, we'll prosecute you. But we can look into that later. I just wanted to bring it up so the public's aware that, you know, we will try and do something to alleviate that problem. There's no other new business, we'll move on to minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the May 8th minutes.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, I guess we'll skip the bills, Ash has.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills.
We have a motion to pay the bills, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Reappoint Jessica Gertleman to the Arts Council. The motion?
Move to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Approve the low bid from Hanson's Tree Service of compost tub grinding service for $44,325.
So, if I may, as you have tasked us with, is looking into, because the reason we have to do the tub grinding is when people bring in, you know, the debris, and some of the tree services are doing that. And so, I don't know if you saw your email, Mayor, I drafted a letter today to get out this week, informing the heavy users of it who are not residents, you know, they're contractors, or to reach out to us that I would take into consideration their input into coming to a resolution on this, but we definitely are going to develop some rules and some fees, because the city can't, this amount, this 44, that's like double what it used to be. So, you know, we can't keep eating that as a city, so we need to either curb the usage of contractors or charge enough to make a dent in that amount of money. So, we'll be sending out letters this week.
Right.
Have we talked about, did we ever talk about putting a camera out there to see who's going out?
Now, we've had several discussions during meetings, and we're looking at different ways, but we definitely, now's the time to move forward with it.
I think we have a real good idea on who's going out there. It's just trying to figure out a way to charge a fee that is reasonable and fair to everyone based on usage.
You know, the citizens would not be charged anything. It's basically
Right.
the contractors. I mean, some of them bring 5, 6, 7 loads a day, you know, and it just, you drive down there and look at
Yeah.
mega trees, you know, it's just something we can't keep eating. You're not gonna make enough to pay that bill, but at least recoup some of it. We have to, you know, have to take care of business. Okay. So now we need to, did somebody did we approve it?
I don't think anybody made a motion, did
No.
they?
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Sorry. Lost track. I have a motion on the floor. Will you have a second? Motion made and second, all in favor to pay the bill.
Aye.
So carried. Sorry about that. Okay, item E, approve low bid from Water and Sewer Incorporated for 1,200 feet of 8-inch water pipe for $25,716. We have a motion to pay that bill.
Move to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Approved bid from Sitkich CPA Advisors for 3-year contract for auditing services for $66,400.
So, a little more information on that is, we currently bid out our auditing contract every 3 years. Most of these do either a 3 or 5 year contract. And it is common across the industry that a lot of municipalities are finding difficulty in securing auditors at all. When I've gone to different meetings, and I've heard discussions at MRPC, I called a whole handful of city clerks and city administrators, and discussed this. So we sent out 14, requests for proposal, and we got 2. And some of these cities that I called, they're getting 0, or just the one that they've had prior. So they're like, you got 2? Wow, at least you have a competitive process. So it's labor shortage and all that sort of thing. So we are fortunate to have at least a comparison. So Sikich bought out Child and Bloom, who we've had for a number of years. In essence, it's a different company. They've kept the staff. Now they have hired a whole lot more staff. And so the people working on our audit, some of them are new, some of them are prior employees. And the company itself has different procedures and things like that. So in essence, it's a new company. And so the price has gone up significantly from 3 years ago when Child and Bloom did it. It's gone up over $20,000, but as you'll see, Sikich is still $18,000 less than our other bid. So I am recommending that we go with Sikich for another 3 years.
I have a motion to approve.
I move to approve.
Motion is made, do I have a second?
Second.
First made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
So, approve the destruction of records in accordance with the state retention law. Any questions on that?
As you know, we try to do this once a year. I think we're a couple of years behind on our rotation. And these aren't anything confidential. The confidential things, we would actually hire the sheriff truck to come and do all that. These are just things that can be thrown away. Most of them are like old invoices and old utility reports.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the destruction of the records?
Motion to approve to destroy.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Approve letter of agreement for the on-call status for New Florence.
So, I think we had sent out an email to you all, Jesse did, regarding this. We're not going to actually need you to vote on this tonight after we spoke with Dave earlier today. So we have a current agreement with New Florence. They are incredibly short-staffed, and the staff they have is undertrained, and so they have asked us, we have a letter agreement with them right now to cover their on-call for after hours and holidays. And so they have asked us to consider doing something different because they can't really afford it, to pay an automatic on-call even if nobody gets called out. So they've asked us to do it on a per event basis. And so Jesse crunched some numbers, and that's what's in this document. We're going to ask them. And then on Dave's recommendation, we're tossing this back in their court and saying, this is what we're asking. You know, you have your attorney draw up something for us to review and sign. And so if you have any questions about that, we can answer that. But otherwise, we're going to send our stipulations to them and ask them to send us an agreement.
Okay, so I don't think I did copy them on that email.
Okay.
I just checked.
Okay.
So we don't need to approve that one tonight.
No, but if anybody has any questions, this would be a good time since Jesse's here.
Are they getting a bunch more housing going in? Isn't there a bunch more housing going in New Florence too?
Yes.
Yeah, like
A lot.
120 houses or something, some big.
Yes, they've gotten ahead of this because of the mega site and that coming. Steve Etcher was involved, I believe, if we're talking about the same ones, that he was involved in getting that ball rolling. So that's pretty big news, yeah.
Okay, any other questions? If not, we'll move to item I, liquor license, Google Blitz?
Google Blitz.
Google Blitz, with Ryan Chad for 407 Market Street, Endo only. Any questions? The gentleman's here, he can answer.
What is Kugel Blitz?
What does it mean, or what is
Yeah, what's it mean and what is the plan?
It means ball lightning in German, like a lightning ball. So you want to know what the store is? It's going to be an arcade, game store, card shop. It's going where Sugar Mom's used to be, the former Sugar Mom's site. So.
Ewaldo Bakery.
What's that?
Ewaldo Bakery.
Correct. Yes.
And so you're wanting a liquor license for malt liquor and wine?
Just buy the drink, no Sundays. The basic.
Any other questions?
Make motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application for Big Bam LLC, Big Bam on the Katy Camping and Vendors Riverfront Park, June 8th and 9th, 2023. This is something they do every year. So have a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application for Big Bam LLC, Big Bam on the Katy Camping and Vendors Riverfront Park on October 12th and 13th.
Move to approve.
Motion is made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application, Go St. Louis KT82 Relay with Concessions Amphitheater and various city streets, June 3rd, 2023. This is another annual event. We have a motion to approve that.
I move to approve.
Motion is made. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. This is festival event application for the Brush and Pallet Club exhibition and sale of handmade products, food, and antiques, Herman Middle School, October 14th and 15th, 2023. Motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Motion is made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. We have some new ones that were added. The vehicle for hire license, One Chauffeur LLC. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. And the last one, change work order for the 4th and 7th Street reconstruction. That's what she talked about earlier. Do I have a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no reports. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'm sorry.
Nope.
Corey, did we need to ratify the JCs or something? What was it?
Yeah, it's here.
We did it by email. If we'd like to ratify it tonight, that's just fine.
Oh, the one that we...
I presented it before you guys, so you had it for your information.
Just go ahead and get it in the minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, good.
This is for the JC Beer Tent.
Make motion to approve.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Now, do I have a motion? Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make motion to adjourn.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you everyone for watching and being here. Have a nice Memorial weekend.